Hello, everybody. In a very somber podcast this week, a podcast which leaves me very much lost for words. Hi, everybody. My name is Avikar Singh, and my beautiful wife, who is equally as distraught, Roxanne Singh, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
Don't think we are full of smiles today in this podcast, because this podcast specifically is full of sadness, and it's an ongoing thing, and I'm going to introduce you into the topic. Little Jayden Lee Meek, a little 11-year-old boy from Johannesburg, or Roodepoort, Tiffany Meek, and I'm just going to read on here. The mother of accused of killing her 11-year-old son, Jayden Lee, will spend the weekend in jail. This, as the state has requested that the mother to be moved to Monday, because it's even difficult for me to read this topic because it's making me this emotional. But let's pull ourselves together for this one. And Tiffany Meek, the mother accused of killing her 11-year-old son, Jayden Lee, will spend the weekend in jail. This, as the state has requested that the matter be moved to Monday because it's not ready to proceed. The 31-year-old Flairhoff mother was arrested last week in connection with her son's death. Police believe the child was killed inside their home, and attempts were made to cover up the crime. Coming off the Joshlin Smith case, where the child still hasn't been found, what do you have to say to this, my love?
As a mother, I don't know how to handle this kind of news, specifically because I cannot imagine how these mothers, or what they are feeling, or how they are feeling, because whether or not this is alleged, or whether it is proven, or how far they go with it, I'm going to speak from the Joshlin case specifically, because that has been more settled, right? Kids in South Africa, kids all over the world, actually, they are just not safe. And parents out there that have the greatest responsibility over these kids, it's so sad to think that when we have kids of our own, and you know how protective we are, even when they leave the yard and play outside, we have cameras watching them. How hurtful, and how do you feel? I mean, I was a child, and when I was a child, once upon a time, a long time ago, I remember playing in the street, and I remember having my parents sit there. All the moms used to sit there and watch us, and when we used to go out, when we come from school, we get fetched. And yes, even back then, it was still one of those things that you feel as a parent, is my child not home yet? Oh my gosh, where are they? Or if someone's not fetching them from school, have we made arrangements to get them fetched? As a parent, you have this feeling in your heart that you want to make sure your kids are safe. And then you hear things like this, and you think, where have we gone wrong? Where has it gone wrong that it happens to these innocent children, and it goes on for days? And this happened in May, right? For Jayden Lee. Okay, so this happened in May, right? And Joshlin happened in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. But in between that, there have been so many other cases of kids gone missing. And it's a continuous thing. There are other children that have been raped by teachers. They are raped by leaders. There are cases that are going on. What is going on in this world right now? It's a sad place. And as parents, I am so scared. I'm scared for my children. I'm scared for other parents. I'm scared for when my children have children, because I feel like it's getting worse and worse. And social media is bringing it to light, which is good. But also, it's so sad to watch. And as a mother, my heart is broken.
From my perspective, and my condolences to everyone that's involved in all of these tragic events that take place throughout South Africa on a daily basis, when you look at the crime statistics, it's a scary place to live in. It almost seems like we live in the shithole of shitholes, if you want to put it bluntly, because we don't have a police system that is there for the people. Neither do we have eligible people that should be having children, because whether the allegations be true or not. Just because someone can bring a murder and criticize your parenting and put you in a courtroom on the basis of suspicion is enough to say that there's too much bad that goes on within this universe, that even an innocent mother, if per se you are, could be deemed irresponsible with the well-being of your child. It's so many ways that we get to look at this, and now that it makes its way to social media, we examine it under a microscope, and it's terrible. And I'd just like to put it out there to every single individual that's a parent, especially within South Africa. But be there for your kids. Stop treating malls, stop treating social areas as a place for where you can go out to enjoy. It's not safe, man. It really isn't. You shouldn't be stupidly letting your kids out of your sight or entrusting your younger children to be there for your youngest just because that's how we perceive a restaurant, for instance, to be safe or a healthy environment for your kids. Dumbness needs to be stopped within this country, and everybody needs to stand up for their children. Recently, police reports have come out to say that there have been almost 5 reported kidnappings that have taken place in Pretoria, among other places within the country. And this is a daily tragedy that we have to face. Your kids may not like it, especially if they're babies, but strap them in, keep them close to your heart, and never let them out of sight. Stop being irresponsible as parents. There is nothing more I want to say but man up and arm yourselves. Do something. General Makwanazi, take the man's word for it. Going after politicians, whether he's right or wrong, who cares? But he's publicly naming and shaming, and I appreciate and respect the man for it. And in his own words, if I so incorrectly quote, he said, go out there and fight the fight. Somebody is coming towards you. If this disaster is happening on a daily basis, the only way to end the calamity is to fight back.
And I completely agree, my love. The thing is, and he's such a good example of leadership. Is that our children?
We're sorry to interrupt your podcast viewing experience, but during the recording, an unexpected incident occurred. The hosts were startled by a loud bang, followed by the sound of a child screaming. It was quickly discovered that a neighbor had been involved in an accident nearby. Thankfully, we've been assured that the incident was not fatal. We now return you to the podcast.
So what I was saying is that I think that hats off to him, because of the reason is, as leaders in community, in schools, and in general, right, if you're a parent, that makes you a leader by your own right, because you are the head of the home. And the thing is, I find that the responsibility and the onus should be on these leaders, parents, elders, whatever it is. How can you tell me that these people went through all this time? Remember, this child was reported missing in May. Prior to that, school teachers, religious leaders, neighbors, nobody could feel or hear or find out something.
The problem in South Africa is very, very simple. And that's, I do not, as a parent, I will never blame the police system. I will never blame the education system. And I shouldn't be pointing a finger at anyone else in terms of if something goes wrong, and touch wood, it would never. Just looking forward quickly. The fact of the matter remains is that, number one, as a parent, you need to get involved in your child's life. There is no space. Don't create an environment for space, because space creates confusion. Confusion means, something happened to me at school today, but I don't think I should tell it because I'm not sure if it means a lot. My parents may not care. Be so invested in your children's lives that it's almost like a best friend relationship.
Okay, I get that.
Right?
But
No.
Where their parent is being abusive, right? And this was alleged. I get that. But in the case of Joshlin Smith, her mom was sentenced, being guilty. She's guilty, right? So this was investigated and it was found out that she was guilty. How does community, they all want to be in an uproar at the stage where the child is now gone missing. What happened prior to that? I mean, the community
But
people,
then
everybody
you're talking
else.
about two differences here now. Like Joshlin Smith case is a poverty case, and it's a case that comes out of a township.
Any case.
No, it doesn't matter about any case, because you have to look at the broader picture. The broader picture is that in the township environments, as much as I don't like saying the word, it's a fact, it's different. It's really different in terms of urban areas versus township areas.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
You could disagree with me as much as you want, but there are more reported cases that come from these regions within the country that we don't know about.
Right,
But because this was brought to light, we now want to blame community for not getting involved in protecting the child. The community can't even protect themselves.
No, I get
Neither
that.
can they
I
feed
get that.
themselves.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm not disputing the fact that this was something that was out of everybody's hands. I get that, right? But what I'm trying to say is that if a child, and I speak of this very personally, if a child tells you that there's something that's going wrong, or if you as an elder, as a person of some sort of leadership structure, whether you're an aunt, uncle, community leader, whatever the case is, and if you have any sort of discernment, you know something is not right, surely you should speak up about it.
There is no one that you can trust, and as a parent, I know you want to be entrusting towards people like your school teachers. You want to trust your religious leaders. You want to trust a lot of people, including your closest brothers and sisters and cousins and family. But this is more time than ever, adding to the point of my wife, where we need to be selfish. And we need to be so selfish as parents that we take priority of our children first over the need of anybody else.
Agreed.
And that is what I want to urge everyone watching this podcast, whether it's 10 of you, 15, 20, please remember that statement. It's time to be selfish. Because if you don't want to be selfish and take that extra care over your child, then please, if you have the money, leave the country. Because unfortunately, like parents are like ourselves, we want to go, but there's nowhere else safer that we can afford to live in. It's socio-economic, it's economical, it's money-wise, it's everything. Everyone wants a safe environment for our kids to be raised in, but the reality is that the country in which we live in just doesn't afford us that opportunity. The money we earn doesn't afford us that opportunity. And then to say that a mother is killing their kids and so on and so forth, it's such a tragedy. It's such a tragedy. Stop having children, man, if you can't look after them.
Yeah.
Stop having children if you aren't mentally prepared to do so. At some point, even though I have a very strong disagreement to abortion, but honestly, I'd rather not have an innocent boy be killed. If you were considering it prior to his birth, you should have let him went back to his creator quite gracefully, in my opinion. I don't know. It's a tough one to talk about, but I'd rather not have to raise a boy all the way up to 11 years old and then watch him be murdered.
Look, and I think also as family members, and I'm going to keep saying this over and over again until it starts reaching people's ears. If you know of an issue in your family, have the guts, have the scruples to say something about it. Because in actual fact, you can't cry over spilt milk, like my dad always said. Do something about it while you have the ability to do something about it. Or live with the conscience that you yourself allowed it to happen. Because God has given us all the ability to speak up. And you are also, as much as you think it's not your problem. What is it? Not my circus, not my monkeys is the famous thing. Please, man, really. Where it comes and where it concerns children and innocent lives like babies, if you know something and if you continue to act oblivious towards it, you have something coming your way. Because the deed is not just unjust by doing it, but by thinking it and knowing it and doing nothing about it.
Absolutely. There's one final statement to end this podcast. It's been a heavy debate. There's been many angles that we've taken on with this podcast. It's not something that we normally do, but it's something that we needed to address. And I just want to tell people out there that don't lose sight of your prayers. Keep your faith strong. Be protective as much as you can. Be protective over your children. And remember that there are people out there that can take care of your kids if you can't. There are people out there that are willing to really go the extra mile for children within the country and within the world if you are just that useless in terms of fulfilling the responsibility as a parent. So don't feel any inclination to a child that you cannot keep.
Yeah.
Don't feel any inclination to a child that you cannot afford.
Someone could love that child better.
Absolutely. Let the child go. Let the child go to a better place. And that's not heaven. That's to a better home. So the child can reach heaven through understanding the way of life, love, and God. No one has the right to take a life in this country.
Yeah.
No one has a right to take a life in this world. No one should have that right. There's no one else but the Creator, I suppose, that has that ability to choose that. And our children deserve to grow old, man. They deserve to grow old and watch the magnificence of the universe, because this earth is such a beautiful place. Hey, from me, that's with a heavy heart, I suppose. Just everything that I've got to say on the situation. We'll see how it unfolds. But I pray that someday I put the news on and there's only positivity. There probably wouldn't even be news stations if everything was good. But yeah, from myself, that's it from me. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.